Hey guys, today we're looking at Battlefield Modern Combat. This game is really interesting because it feels not like a lot like the other Battlefield games. It's very different, and but also it's kind of somewhat familiar. You still have your sniper class, your assault class, your engineer class, and again, the whole thrust of this game is that China's the big bad, and you have to take them out. But the big mechanic in this game is that you're able to like teleport and assume control of other players in the map. And again, this feels very different from the other games in the series, but it still is very fun in its own way. And it's just kind of shocking to me that it had its own kind of style or gameplay that was just on a mechanical level very different from what I was used to in other Battlefield games or Battlefield games. Yeah, and I just thought the mechanic was super cool, and it feels really good to play, and it's just an overall really fun game. The explosions, the fighting sequences, the ability to swap to exactly which troop you need to, so it almost feels like a real life RTS or whatever. All the guns feel really good, and it's kind of interesting that this game style of gameplay didn't return, where you have this big battlefield and you can just swap to different characters on the fly. It seems like such a cool concept or idea that just hasn't come back. Anyway, the story, again, I have no idea what's going on. You have to fight the Chinese have to fight the Americans and blow up as much stuff as possible. That's pretty much the story. And it's just one of those games that's just made really well. You always have people paratrooping in, and you can always swap to them, and depending on what kind of weapons they have, usually engineers have shotguns and rocket launchers, while assault classes have assault rifles, obviously, and stuff like that. And you just go through the missions, blowing up as much stuff as possible, swapping to guys, taking out foot soldiers, tanks. What's really interesting about this game, it's like a single player experience only, and it's just very, I guess, unique in that way. And this kind of chaos that is very tailored and scoped to a single player experience almost feels a little bit better than, of course, the other kind of experiences in the rest of the Battlefield franchise in terms of single player. Battlefield single player has always never been a huge thing, but in this game it is the experience, and so that is a very different vibe, I guess. But yeah, this is definitely a game that I felt like might be kind of a sleeper hit. It also really cool how it awards you medals as you're doing the campaign. It feels more kind of arcadey in that sense, but still like immensely fun, like shockingly a good game. Definitely kind of like a hidden gem, and from a gameplay perspective, like a lot of fun. It reminds me of like Mercenaries 2 a little bit, because you have all these guys and all these things for destruction. And I don't know, it's just really good. It's really fun. And again, there's not much I can say about it, because it's just blowing stuff up, swapping to guys, going through a very basic military campaign. But it has its own distinct style, and I think it's worth trying out, especially if you've played the other Battlefield games. It has a very interesting mechanic, and like I said, the whole swapping thing is just a thing that's just really overall cool. And of course, this game has tanks and APCs and all the vehicles from the Battlefield franchise. It definitely doesn't have jets, though. That's coming later in the franchise, but this is just peak military shooters. Really great gameplay, a lot of fun. I don't know, I'm not used to doing short reviews for good games, because there's really not much else to talk about except this is a fun game with guns, but there's nothing else to it really other than that. So while I don't like doing short reviews for good games, I really have nothing else to say except it's good. So yeah, anyway guys, I'll see you later. Take care, bye.